It's maple sugar,
poison ivy,
and grandpa, yeah.
We're about to start a lesson you won't wanna skip.
You gotta pull it down and pull it back.
Pisaster Disaster.
Let the tide drop.
Listen up, y'all, class is in session. We're about to teach an aggregation lesson.
To the C star, to the C star.
Group living is an advantage or it can cause fitness damage. Some animals group and others can't. It depends on their environment.
It's high tide in Barkley Sound. In groups is how starfish are found. But when the tide is dropping low, starfish like to be alone.
Maybe tidal ecology directs where the stars will be. In the water there's competition, but when they're out, it's a friendly fission.
To the C star, to the C star. To the C star, to the C star.
We see sea stars hanging out, so we asked what's it all about? What's up with that? What's the story? Time to go to the laboratory.
We thought it could be the case. Food, water, hiding space determines if the stars aggregate or if they will separate.
Sunflower stars have wasted away. There's nothing in the water to predate Pisaster, but out on land, gulls have them in high demand.
Exposed Pisaster aren't safe from above because the gulls give them
No love,
but they don't aggregate for romance, maybe to decrease predation chance.
sea stars like it when they're wet, so we thought that they might get all grouped up to conserve the water when the temperature gets hotter.
Or they all hustle, bustle just to share a tasty muscle. Perhaps they aggregate so they can have a buffet.
To the C star, to the C star. To the C star, to the C star.
In the lab we try and find which factor matters most to our Pisaster. Find cost benefit trade-off so we can tell our peers and profs.
Mark all the stars with some string, wait a day, see what this brings. Using a scale to find the weights, is more water retained in the aggregates?
We want our study to show how important a star is H2O. Solve this with some field scans and a tank in a lab is our plan.
In the lab, give them a choice. Will they eat, hide, or stay moist? Set the sea stars up in the tank, monitor to see how the factors rank. Just one trial for these will not do. That's why we have to test a few. We don't want to overestimate, so we replicate. Keep our data straight so we can educate.
Holla.
Shout out to Blowhole.
Hunnits.
To the C star, to the C star. To the C star, to the C star.
Here's results we'd like to show. We're gonna pause this beat and take it slow.
Raise the tide.
In the field, we did 20-minute scan searches in water and on land. We examined 3 different factors. We looked at whether they were clumped or alone, sheltered or exposed, and the amount of food coverage around them.
We found a significant difference between the amount of sea stars clumped in water versus on land. All of the 63 surveyed in the water were found alone. On land, the scan showed 126 were alone out of the total of 397, which is 31.7%. There was no significant difference between the amount of sea stars found exposed on land versus in water.
The percent food cover figure shows that there was also no significant difference between the amount of food coverage around the sea stars that were on land, in water, clumped, or alone. For the lab portion, we found that given the choice of water or shelter, sea stars will aggregate in water. Given the choice of water or food, sea stars will aggregate in water. Finally, most sea stars did not respond when given the choice of shelter or food, but of the individuals that did respond, food was chosen over shelter. This suggests that of the 3 factors tested, water is the only one that had a significant effect on sea star choice.
Sea stars that were left out for desiccation in the water retention lab experiment showed a statistically insignificant difference in the amount of water lost between aggregated and non-aggregated stars.
To count for starfish size, we measured the length of arms for every starfish that was tested in the lab. The figure shows that there is no relationship between the size of the sea star and whether or not the sea star made a trade-off choice. We tested for a size relationship of each of the three factors individually, but there is no relationship between the size and the choice of any of the factors.
Now that you've heard the study outcome, it's back to this real sick rap album.
Drop the tide.
To the sea star, to the sea star. To the sea star, to the sea star. So in the end we'd like to say that Pisaster aggregates out on land when the tide is low. In lab towards the water they'll go. So after all our results we realized our experiment had faults, and if we did this all again, here's the things we would have changed. To the sea star, to the sea star. To the sea star, to the sea star.
$1 bills, y'all.